And we're ready.
We will open this meeting of October 2nd, 2014. Let the record show all selectmen are present except Selectman Scanlon, who is on his way. We will open the meeting with the minutes.
Make a motion to bring the minutes of September 11th, 2014 to the floor for discussion.
Second. All those in favor?
Yes.
September 24th. September 24th. Did you say September 4th? Or September
11th.
September 11th? Okay. Oh, that shows me I'm listening.
You know, quite frankly, we should wait for this September 11th till John gets here, I think.
Oh, yeah, this is the meeting.
I would make a motion to table the minutes of September 11th, 2014.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Where's Joyce?
She's on her way up. She was printing some more of those awards.
Okay, I would...
She's on.
I would move the minutes of the joint board meeting of September 30th, 2014 to the floor for discussion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of the September 30th, 2014.
Second.
Any more discussion?
Something back on the floor.
I'm gonna vote.
September 30th minutes.
Can I take the vote on the one you just did?
No, I'm
I
just
already
telling
read
Jim.
them.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to bring the minutes of September 11th, 2014 to the floor.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
Oh, it was me.
No, it was me.
Did you say the 24th or 11th?
11th.
The 11th, 2014.
Sure to stand for this one.
What is it?
For the island thing.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
What?
Page 6, second letter, second sentence.
What, I'm sorry, what page?
Page 6, second sentence, said the committee, going down there, and it says, discuss the towns having the same assessment company. The V is an M, same assessment company.
On page 3, under Joyce's agenda items, the fourth paragraph down, Joubert is Joubert. It's a couple of places.
Yes, I have it, thank you. Got it.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of September 11th, 2014 as corrected.
Second.
Want to add one more thing to it. Somewhere in the first paragraph, don't remember exactly when, but I brought up that on March 20th, on page 6 of the minutes, it mentions that the board would not make any decisions or policy changes without my presence. And I brought
Page
that to the-
6?
That's what I brought up at the meeting, referencing the minutes of March 20th, page 6.
That would not make,
It was where would not make any decisions or policy changes without my being present. It should be on March 20th, page 6, right about the middle.
I don't get it. I don't have March 20th. I don't know where you're talking, John. Is this a different set of minutes?
It's a different set of minutes, and
Oh.
I referenced them that the decision that we were discussing about making decisions without my being present.
Oh, I get it. So this would go in the first part of these minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Just went in that I mentioned reference to those minutes. Well, put it as,
I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can guarantee that. How can you guarantee that?
He's got the copy of the minutes. if it
No, but
says
how
so.
can we guarantee that we can't make a decision without him present? That doesn't
I
make
want
any
to see
sense.
exactly what the minutes say.
I'm not, I think that's
You have a
almost an
copy of
impossible
that
task.
I can look at real quick.
That just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I've got them on my drive. I thought you might have had them.
yeah, they
Yeah, I'd like to put that in.
All right. No, I'm all for adding it. Whatever it says on the March 20th.
just add that reference to that. It's March 20th. Thought I had them with me.
I guess I'm going to have to make a point. Point being, if you cannot make it to a meeting, the decision has to be made, then
It's,
it's going to have to be made. You can't write
it
that.
says, this is what it says, which is incorrect. They agreed to meet at 4 PM and go over the minutes and housekeeping issues until Selectman Scanlon arrives between 4:30 and 4:45 as he works in Hudson. The board will not make decisions or change in policy until Selectman Scanlon arrives.
Well, that was in regard to the Thursday Selectmen meeting.
Right.
But I remember John bringing it up during that discussion. So if he wants to put it in these minutes
Just put
here.
I reference,
And we should reference back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
these minutes that, or bring up a new discussion,
I'd bring up a new discussion.
a new
because-
discussion on these minutes, because this, we can't possibly uphold this at all.
And the spirit of that was on the Thursday night meetings.
Right.
John comes in at 4:45, and we weren't going to make any important decisions or
We would hold
policy
within
changes
the,
until John got here.
we would do the minutes and try to do the things. It's not, at any selectmen's meeting, we would not make a decision until he arrived. That's not the case.
Well, that was
Well, what
not,
about a meeting that any one of us could not attend? That means that you would be sitting here.
We would be
Without
forever not
making-
making
usually we
decisions.
need a quorum.
Right.
And that's
Right.
all we need. Now, you guys went over to Northfield the other night. I wasn't there, but any decisions that might have been made, it's like, I wasn't there, and that's on me, because it's not like I'd left the planet or the state. I had another obligation I had to go to.
So I think that we'll take that up under a different part of the night's meetings on that.
Okay, but it still should be
In reference
referenced.
to what John is saying, that he did reference the March 20th
Okay.
minutes,
all right.
and later we will also reference them to re-clarify. Okay? Is there any more discussion on the August 14th September 11th minutes? Can we get some lights on?
Yep.
Good job, Al.
You jumped right up.
Because we always start the meeting when we don't have lights. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes. All right, do you want to talk about the reclarification of the minutes now while it's fresh, or do you want to wait?
No, let's get her done.
Okay. So, I think our intent is to, on Thursday meetings, to start at 4:30, whenever possible, and if John is not here, we will continue to start out with the approval of the minutes and fill in where there's not huge decisions being made. When it gets to a point where a decision has to be made, then we will go forth and make that decision. But we will make every effort to include John.
All selectmen,
All selectmen.
certainly.
And that goes for meetings outside of Thursday as well.
Correct.
I think one of the things would be to not approve the minutes until I arrive, unless I wasn't to be arriving, I called in, or...
Then there's nothing for us to do
4:45.
until 4:45.
Well, I really think, since I'm part of the meeting, I should have, I don't get copies of the minutes on a timely basis, that I could review them and make a call and let you know of any changes or sentiment.
But
You still can make
but
changes to the
regardless of,
minutes.
regardless of whether we approve the minutes in your absence, when you arrive, if you have changes, it can be brought up again for discussion.
Certainly.
It can, I mean, it's that guaranteed.
Of course it is. When you make a motion, you're making a motion to discuss a topic, to bring to the table a topic for discussion. And you can bring that up as many times as you want. If you find minutes from 2012 that you know are incorrect, you can bring them up for today for discussion and say, oh, I found this huge discrepancy in these minutes, we have to correct it.
Okay.
We can always go back on any decision we've made.
Exactly.
And every decision is fair game,
Unless it's a legal
Unless we've
one.
already spent the money and it's,
unless it's gone. If the money has been spent and it's gone, then we have an issue.
Yeah, the bridge is already built.
I think the
That's right.
intent, they think the intent is rather unique this year because we're trying to accommodate two selectmen, one that works during the day and one that works during the night. And so we're trying to find the middle road to figure out what's the best time to start the meetings so that it would be the least impact on the board.
We used to meet at 4 o'clock.
Right. And so we're making the accommodation to do 4:30, but then if we drag it on to 8 o'clock, then you're impacting the other selectmen on the other end. So we have to try to accommodate, try to
You know,
accommodate
that-
everybody.
That works, like the minutes, and then,
If you
of
have
course, I
something you
know,
wanna
I guess
bring
if
up-
Again,
it's a
if
big
that-
decision, it would be.
Right, but then again, if Al has to leave, then he has to leave, and if there's decisions after that, we just notify him that this is what's happened. We try not to do it, but if it comes up and it does, then we do.
And anything of any import, I don't know if you ever watched
We try not to
the
do it, but,
movies, it's like, no, we should wait till Catherine's here, or
Right.
we should wait till Al's here,
Yeah.
and we really do that. And I know we had the incident, but we, in the past, in my experience is, we try to make sure that everybody's voice is heard.
it does us no good if we work against each other and not as a team.
Okay, I'm more familiar with the way that we can always readdress minutes that are off.
Okay.
So, that
All
works
right,
really
so,
well.
all that's all done. Okay, Joyce, we're on for you.
In the to be signed, there are some certificates to thank each of the volunteers that worked on the rehabbing the gazebo and the flower beds at the island.
There's some duplicates. Is there a reason for duplicates?
Yes, because I had to wait and find out if some of them were men or women. And by their name, I couldn't tell if they were male or female. So I since got that information, so I can pull out the...
Okay, I get it.
In fact, I meant to pull those out before. There were 3 of them.
why does
And-
that matter?
The body of the letter, he, she.
Oh,
I think that's very efficient.
yeah, I would have gone he/she.
Well, just because I knew that there was...
To make it much more personal.
I had them at the
The
Tuesday night
individual.
Yeah, the
Northfield
individual.
Selectmen's meeting, and then since then, 6 more names came in, and I explained to Robin that it's no problem to make them up, but if they're there tomorrow at 11, we can give them to them, but they have to give them back to me so I can take them to Northfield to be signed, and then I would drop them off at the store. But my printer ran out of ink, and so I've been running back and forth, and it just didn't work. I still have 2 more down there that I have to go grab before.
Oh, is this more?
Yeah, 6
even more
more
than
came
those?
in, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But 2 of them are still downstairs.
You need a stamp?
The, on the subject of the gazebo, the rose bushes are there.
Oh, they are?
Wow.
I went
What?
over there today.
Oh, good.
The what, Pat?
Rose bushes were thought to have been taken, and they were planted in memorial of Alan and Savina
They're
years ago.
already gone?
Somebody said that they were gone. I went over and checked, and they were not.
Well, I haven't been over in the last few days, but they're doing a great job. They were out there again today, finishing up.
They've been out all week,
Yeah,
and 15,
yeah.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Doing a heck of a job. They really are.
21 volunteers.
They did raise the question of the seam, where they put the seam on the top where it comes down the
Yeah.
wood, or the spline, whatever. They wanted to stain that the same color as the body of the gazebo. I said, that is not my decision. You find whomever's in charge. It's not my decision. Not doing it.
Well, they already darkened it.
Oh, did they?
It's like
dark.
this color.
The ridges?
Gazebo.
Yeah, but it was kind of that color to start with, I think.
No, it's
more-
much darker.
Oh, is it much darker?
Oh, much darker. It's like a chocolate brown.
But you know what? They did a beautiful job, so
It's fine.
the color is just aesthetic.
It's fine.
The benches are just spot on, nice, they don't move or anything. It's just really a great job. Really a great job. And the cupola, too, that's really
I
great.
do know that Donna Rhodes is going to be there at 11 tomorrow. She had called to confirm that. I don't know what the plan is in terms of a ceremony, or if just Donna's going to be there taking pictures, but we'll just kind of figure it out.
What time?
11.
And the school dedication's at 12:30?
I don't know anything about a school dedication.
field?
Field.
No,
They're all invited
that's
for that.
Saturday.
That's Saturday.
Saturday.
Tomorrow, you
Saturday
said,
At
right?
12:30.
There's a wedding on Saturday at the gazebo at 11, so I know we're not doing a dedication.
You know, I don't get invited to any of those things.
The wedding, come
Everybody
over
at
with
Town
me.
Hall was invited.
Really? Did I didn't see that.
Saturday, I'll show up to Tilton School.
We found out, I didn't get an engraved invitation, but,
Yes, you did.
did I?
Yes, you
Yes, you
did.
Well, I didn't see it.
All the
Yes, I did. Well, I didn't
I
remember.
remember that,
We all
It's,
got little cards.
it was about a month and a half ago.
I'm claiming I don't know
I
anything
spent a
about
lot
it.
of time
so-
up there, getting the soil.
Everyone at,
Oh, I think it's in my calendar.
I was told that everyone at Town Hall got an invitation.
Do you remember seeing them? I mean, I would have remembered
I
that
know.
because it's a sensitive,
She put them in her, Catherine put them in our books. I've got it right here, I just looked at it.
I think you were the guest of honor.
no, it's just like when they had the thing for the new headmaster, I didn't get invited.
Well, anything I'm invited to, Joyce, you can come as my date.
All right.
You can
I
just
will take-
consider
I will
yourself
take you up on
invited.
that.
That's too bad, I was going to take her as mine.
On
Either way.
No, I'm not going to be here Saturday.
Oh. I thought the dedication
If
for
it
the
was at
island.
noon, I would have
No,
gone.
wait a minute. Oh, you're talking about the school.
Let's go with this.
It's at 12:30 on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't go. But
So-
anyway,
Our
so,
first date, and you stood me up, Joyce. Okay.
now I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
While we're still talking about the
Here it is.
island, I do vaguely remember seeing something like that. I do.
Pass
Because
that
it
down
was
to Joe so
sticking
we
out
can
of
see
the
it. Give it
envelope.
back to me, Joe.
Oh, I saw one of these. I how to read this stuff, huh?
You know why? Because
It is almost an engraved invitation.
Otherwise, they would have lost.
Did you see it?
Yeah,
You got the time down?
Yeah, I-
and we're right about the
I
date.
put it in my device and then
12:30 up at the
recycled the
field.
card. Just that quick.
Anyway, just to get back to the island, when I was speaking with the store manager, he had asked if it would be okay if they made a small plaque, similar to, you know, like we have done. We're on the table here when we have things donated to, and they would pay for it, and they would, and I said that would be wonderful. I'm sure the selectmen would accept that, but the board would decide where it was going to be.
And precisely what
Depends on
does
what
it
it
do?
says. For me, I don't want it to be an advertisement for Lowe's.
No.
I want it to be truly a
Community.
volunteers from Lowe's. I mean, it should be a dedication to the volunteers that work.
And I got a question along those lines. Lowe's has stuff plastered on the fence.
Yes.
Now, I appreciate what Lowe's has done. I don't even mind their stuff plastered on the fence, but I do know that we have a policy that nothing gets put on our fence unless it's approved. Whether it's the Wow Trail thing or whatever, and if we just, I fear that if we don't follow precedent in the future, that we're opening ourselves to, anybody can put anything
I
up
can
there.
explain how that happened. It was when we were getting this set up. She had said, one of the things they'd like to do, like they did when they did the senior center, was, did they have a sign up when you were doing the senior center?
In the initial grant, and this was a little different because we didn't ask them for the grant. They volunteered because they had a grant left over. When they did the grant for the senior center, in the contract, it's laid out that we will be allowed to put up a banner. It's during the process time. And so I don't, whoever
It was,
agreed,
I did. Robin said, can we put something up saying it's Lowe's Community Heroes?
and that's in part of the contract.
But
Of the
Joe is
grant.
right. The selectmen should have been asked, because we may have said, you know what, there's too many things on the fence already.
We could have, but we
Or-
probably would have allowed it, I like to
It's
think.
deteriorated enough, or it might be secured enough that it
We
might
should
get
have been
blown
on-
into the
right.
renter.
Just to
Put the
stay with
banner on
precedent.
Posts beside the river, not on the fence.
But it wasn't Lowe's because Joyce had given permission to Lowe's, because you asked permission for us to accept the grant, and we accepted the grant.
Right.
By accepting the grant,
You
we
accepted the
accepted
The
the
agreement.
criteria that went
But
with the
not the
grant.
location of where the sign was going to go.
And that.
Well, I'm just saying, and I don't know if we don't need a vote at this point, it's a fait accompli, but
Future reference.
Yep.
just in the future.
Well, I thought it was good that it was there, because a lot of people would want to know, hey, what's going on?
And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And deviation from procedure.
But I do remember seeing it, and, because we had the Winnipesaukee Trail one, I said, oh, they put their banner up.
And speaking of that whole neighborhood, there's two giant steamrollers
Yeah.
in Ernie's, or maybe it's
Yeah,
not Ernie's.
I heard you gave them permission.
I don't know, well, I didn't realize what I was doing, which is not that unusual, John, I gotta tell you.
No, I asked Chuck, did you, I mean, I knew that Continental Paving was coming in, I just assumed,
What are they paving? Is this for the parking lot?
no, they're doing the road.
Oh, that's for the
Continental,
road.
remember the thing that came through saying September 30th, they were
They're
going to
going
be...
to,
Yeah, I saw that.
New Hampshire DOT, the people that we
Just
bought.
decided they're gonna
We
put
got
it
the
on.
property from.
Yeah, they
Forget
should have
that they
asked.
don't still own it.
Yeah.
Maybe that memo.
I wonder if
brought all the
Rusty has got a
departments.
record big enough to haul those things away.
He does.
They're derelict pieces of equipment.
our
Doesn't say, I think they, no, maybe I'll shut up.
I said we don't.
To back them up about 6 feet.
I don't want to be liable if anything happens to them.
I said we
No.
don't. We're on private property. That's private property, don't belong to the state. Anybody that's on our property don't belong there gets towed.
I am a good neighbor.
Me too.
I was just wondering why they were there.
Shovel.
Yeah,
in there with
no, they did not call
Tow
town
them
hall.
after they pave, though.
Anyway, getting back to the island, so the plaque, so, yes, I will find out exactly what it says. I said, what size? He said, he didn't know. He said maybe 8 by 10, 5 by 7. So once he gives us a mock-up of what he's planning, then you can tell him if it should be affixed to some other post, or maybe tomorrow, when we're there, we could kind of figure out where would be a good sign to.
Right.
It should
Personally,
be somewhere on the gazebo itself.
I agree with
personally, I think
Catherine.
it should be something more like 2 by 3. You know, if they're going to put a plaque up
How can you read it?
from Lowe's.
Or 2 by 6, one of those longer ones.
No, 8 by 10.
5 by 7?
Yeah,
10.
something along like
Read.
this.
That's pretty big for,
I'm thinking this,
Most
kind
people
of.
can't read this. They can read this.
6 by 10?
it becomes an
Well-
advertisement as opposed to,
And then the other thing he asked, and I said, I don't know, I'd have to run it by the selectmen, that, first of all, let me preface, and this has been discussed quite at length between other municipalities, when people fill out application forms to use town facilities, is that subject to the right to know law? I mean, can that information be made available to the public? And the answer is yes. So anybody can come in and say, like they do our building permits, I want to look at your building permits, I want to look and see who's rented the island, because what they can do with that information, particularly weddings, is then it's a way of marketing products. And so he had wanted to know that if, when there are weddings in the future, if they could have 10% off gift certificates that they could give to new people. So I don't quite know how that would work out, if they would, I mean, I'm certainly not going
Not
to
to be
call them up.
dispensed by the town. We're not calling any local
It would be
businesses
low.
and saying, oh, guess who's getting married?
I'm saying, but if they were to ask, do you have any weddings, people?
Sure.
You know,
It's public knowledge, I would guess, right?
so I just wanted to run that by. I mean, any vendor could do that in town.
What's the consensus, board?
I got a feel that it should be public knowledge at the public park.
I don't think we should be publicly advertising anything for any
No,
kind of business
no.
in this town.
No, I think it's like any other public information. If somebody requests it, we supply it. End of story.
But we don't hand out things.
We're not
No.
going to automatically say, oh, town crier.
No, I understand, no, they would handle it, but, you know, just so you know that they would be
I think we
requesting.
should be giving the people well notice that when they give us that information, it will be handed out to people.
If anybody were to, we could just incorporate it into the form. The fact that you've done this, and somehow the fact that you've rented this, that's public information.
And you're under the disclosure.
Well, on the form itself, we should put on there, any information on this form
Will be disclosed.
is public information.
It's public
It's subject to being disclosed, yeah.
Right.
But we should put that disclaimer on there.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
they
nice
know.
way of saying it.
In
There
big
is a
bold
nice way.
letters.
But also, too, just to put your mind at ease, well, it was last year, right?
Yeah,
That,
a year ago to this day. You talking about yours?
oh, yeah, a year ago today, that's right. That I was in a similar situation, and a couple of weeks after that formal event, I received in the mail from Home Depot, from Lowe's, from Pizza Hut, just different places all around town did that with 10% off, or $5 coupon, or a $10 gift card, or something, because they got the information from somebody. We chose not to have it published in the town meeting book, and we chose not to have it publicized anywhere else, so they're getting the information from somebody. I mean, I didn't have an issue with it. It was nice to get
I have a question. If I rent the town hall for a thing, or the Island Park, we're talking Island Park, now my phone number and my address and everything else is
It's not public.
going to be released to
It
the
can be
public?
public, yes.
Well, I live at 99 Silver Lake Road, come on down.
Well, no, it is public because it's part of town records,
Yeah, I guess so.
just like it
Yeah.
is. I mean,
Tax
But if
cards.
Lowe's calls up, it's like, so, did anybody get married at the island? Was the island rented for and I'm just saying Lowe's, it could be anybody. It's like Joe Jessman got married, and he lives at 99 Silver Lake Road, and this is his email address,
Yeah, the
and all of a
answer,
sudden,
the
I'm
answer would be,
getting bombarded.
these records are open to the public, you're welcome to come in and view them.
Right.
Our business hours are from 8:30 to 4:15, blah, blah, blah.
I got a feeling that they know how to get the information anyway.
Just so
'cause it
everybody
happened
that
to me.
might be listening, the
I-
throngs of individuals who are hanging on the edge of their seat, listening to what we're saying here today, understand that their information could be released to a third party.
Okay, and then just to come full circle on this, that once we find out what the sign's going to say and possible locations, and then Northfield's already aware that that was an agreement between the two towns that Tilton would handle the applications, just as they handle applications for anybody that wants to use the Arch, because people do get married up at the Arch Park. That we would run this all by the Northfield Selectmen.
Got it.
These are just some legal correspondence that came in
Wait a minute.
today's mail that I didn't get to put in the, it's all,
The legal's right here.
yeah, it's all, well, these are. I just want to let you know that we did get the signed settlement agreement on the abatement that you signed last week. That's what that is. Moving along, Chuck Mitchell, moderator, had made a request to have some tabletop lecterns, and if we could, get them in time for the November 4th general election.
That's two.
Just large enough so that the ballot clerks, or if the supervisor of the checklist wanted them, that, so that they can sit and have the book in front of them. I said, well, send me some examples and some estimates, and this is,
You mean instead of what they're using now?
yes.
Can we get somebody to
It's
make
just a little
them?
It
weeble.
says Chris in either one.
That angle
For
also
his.
for them, so, yeah, and the
Good
seat's
catch.
huge, too.
How much are these? I mean, can we get,
$65,
oh,
Well, no, that's,
$619.84.
Excuse
That's
me.
for three.
that's a couple $100 apiece. For this.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It says $310.
that's just one, just to give you an idea
Discount,
of what
that
he...
amount, $155.
For three?
for three. They give us a 50% discount? Wow, but $154.84 for shipping. Total of $619.84.
$154 for shipping?
Man,
You surely may.
$154.84.
So why can't we get somebody to make them? Wouldn't it be cheaper to, I can't, I'm sorry. I have
Well,
got
these, though,
family stuff up the
the one in the
zoo.
picture, there's a space, and then the book is actually up here.
No, it shouldn't be. It should be a tabletop. It shouldn't be for like a podium.
It is
And that's what I
tabletop,
told Chuck.
but where
one
the
we've got
doors,
here is a
the book
tabletop.
starts up above the table, it's not here.
No, we
So
need
they'd be,
something like the table's here. We just need it here.
did you see
At that
that?
angle?
Well, at an angle like this.
Did you see
So
what,
the book holds.
Well, look at the
proposal.
one that Joe has, because I know, I want to make sure.
at what location?
Oh,
You know, the supervisors, when you
The
go in and,
clerks,
the
that-
clerks.
Yeah, all right.
yeah. I think this is too high. But I like the way, if this was like about this far up,
I think I'm with Pat, if we could
Yeah.
hold off until the March election,
Yeah.
then we'd have time to have somebody make them.
yeah.
I'm thinking we make it, and for $600, you bet.
Like the prison?
You could make, and
The prison could
How
do
many do you
it,
need?
absolutely,
Three.
I
three.
can make them out.
we've got some that they use right now, the ballot clerk people, and I'll bet you those didn't cost
Somebody gets a
$600.
sketch with what they want and the sizes.
I bet you
I'll
could take
give
the,
a price and it will
I'll bet you could
just be
take the
a little bit
existing
over.
ones and make them
And
better,
retrofit 'em.
make them more secure, because they do this.
Get
Yeah,
some,
but
I
they're
even have
too
a
much
sheet
of
of
an
I
nice
just don't
oak
have the
plywood.
time. I got wood, if you would like to make it out
I
of
even
some
have a sheet of
wood.
nice oak plywood too. It's,
I mean, there's no way that I could
But
vote for
whatever,
spending that
yeah.
kind of money to buy a slanted table. We can, although I'm in favor of the slanted table, we can do something that's a lot more cost-effective, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
All right?
I'll make them so they're exactly
Could
what
take
you
the
want.
ones we have and
We'll talk.
adapt them.
Yeah, those are pretty
John, You
rickety.
need wood, let me know. I got
Collapsed on my hand last
And
election.
the other, I don't know if we'll have time for the November election, but I know every year Dennis has said that at least one bank of the voting booths, they try and fix they're all bent and trying to get the curtains to hang right and
Yeah.
everything.
We should be ordering a bank a year to replace the other ones that are there.
So Cindy said this is
They're not cheap.
an approved
Yeah,
source.
I had done
Oh,
that
that sounds
research,
ridiculous.
because I was looking for tabletops, not just tabletop ones.
Handicap.
When we have a general election or a state primary, we have to have, for the general election, we're going to have one booth for every 100 persons voting. So that means we have 17 fixed ones. And last time we had 6 on the tables ones. And they had, and I did a lot of research and I just threw it all out because it was just too much fun. But they have ones that you actually, open up and there's 4, stand there, and if we had like 4 of those, we'd be set. And we wouldn't have to bring tables and set up these things and get the chairs and, and they'd be good for, like special town meetings, instead of bringing the whole bank up. So, but they're a little pricey too.
How much were they?
They were, I think, $400.
For a bank of 4?
Yeah, but it.
For the whole bank or each
Yeah,
bank?
no, for the bank of 4.
I think I'd rather lug the tables. We're not spending money.
Right, but they're not like the ones we have now.
Not like the ones we have there. because they
No,
stand up
I think I'm good.
around.
Have a little decaf
They
here.
have square ones, yeah, they have all kinds of ones.
So it doesn't look like we could get, we're all set for this election, so, so I'll
We
put
try to
money in
put it
the,
in the budget for
Budget.
next year.
This is, but if we already have the tabletops, I'd rather like the tables.
We don't have the tabletops, though, do we?
We have
Yes.
the cardboard tables.
They're cardboard, yeah.
We have the cardboard tabletops.
From the
Can we just set them on the table?
How long do you think cardboard tabletops are going to
Those
last?
are gonna last us for a long, long.
Yeah, we've had them for what, 4?
Yeah, I keep on, every time I see 1 or 2, the Secretary of State's, I grab them. Oh, I talked to Cindy.
And it works. And it works without spending $400.
banks of the voting booths do we have right now?
was 17, I think.
Okay, so, I mean, there's like,
I think that's what the handicap.
with the handicap, so it must be, you must have 4 banks of 4 then.
Yeah, I don't know
Or
how.
16 booths.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
thinking,
because they're
yeah.
attached, but I do know that the ones that we have, we should replace at least 2 of them.
They can't be fixed?
Well, that's
He
the
has all
thing.
over the years, he has.
I mean, the
year
fact
he
is,
does some more.
they got stood up, they were all hooked together, nothing collapsed, and they worked. So they may be a little difficult to hook up, but I would
But
think
they
that
still work.
Let's do this.
some
Let's
tinkering
look at them.
with, and
Yes.
let's
Yes.
look at them in
Yes.
November. When they're putting them up, we should be there and have them show us exactly what they're talking about.
Yep,
I agree.
okay.
There.
Tim wanted to be sure in the to be signed that the request to do the tax anticipation note.
Yes, we signed it,
Drawdown.
it's all signed.
It's signed. John's got it now.
Suggesting a motion to withdraw the monies from the trustees.
Yeah, I think, so that we have something in the minutes.
Second.
I'm just looking at his, if in yours to be signed,
The withdrawal request for 600 for the tax anticipation note.
tan borrowing, I see that, but it doesn't say a motion in his report.
Well, if somehow we could have mention made in the minutes that the board signed the TAN withdrawal request for $600,000.
Well, you just said it.
Okay, no, this
That will
is for
cover the
something
school
different.
and
For the
fire payments
trustees.
for October.
No, this is
This
the
is for
trustee for
removing the money
the
for the
paving
Oh, the
reimbursement.
paving box.
The paving reimbursement,
You've
that's
got
where
the sheet
motion
right
is.
in there. Just make a motion to,
I'll make a motion to withdraw
To allow Tim to withdraw.
I think
allow
John's got it, doesn't he?
him to withdraw the money for,
It's a motion to request
to the trustees for the paving reimbursement
Second.
from the road repair capital reserve fund.
There you go.
Yes.
And Al seconded it. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
I think that'll cover us with, because it's a little over 61,000, and he's still working on the,
Right, we haven't made the payment to the capital reserve fund for this year yet.
right.
And then also, if for the minutes, you can, that the board signed the MS4 and the MS5 forms.
Hold on a minute, before you make that statement, there is no place to sign on the MS4, I believe.
those first 2 pages. I think that's
Right.
it.
A vacation.
Yeah,
Is
where
it
do
the
they-
first page, the signature page?
Oh, no, it's in there.
I saw it, but there was I thought the first page was a sign-off.
There's a place for the preparer to sign.
Oh. Never mind.
Right, but the board signs everything, so just the board. Go
Where do you
ahead.
want to sign it?
Page with the preparer?
Yep.
Bring it on now.
So anywhere,
Yeah,
so
underneath-
everybody's going to sign below the
Yep.
line? I'm not signing on the line, right?
No, Tim can sign on the line and the
So
board
we'll
will
just-
sign. And then the MS5, they keep changing the forms. Is there room for you to
Revenue
sign them?
Administration should know that there are selectmen that have to sign these. Therefore, the form should reflect that.
One with that.
That's plain stupidity
One with that.
and disrespect.
All in one.
So declared.
Okay,
I think you should go down there and explain that to them.
not this week.
Okay.
You don't want me going anywhere to explain anything this week.
I'll be behind you with the camera.
Also, in the to-be-signed folder, he put the trustee designation for the Charter Trust. Is that something that the board has to sign, or he's just giving that to you for your information?
FYI,
FYI, yes.
looks like.
Okay. And then, you all should have in your
Catherine?
folders, the
Gussie does.
first draft of the budget.
Yeah, isn't it already on
That
our
here?
Thrive?
I
Yes.
believe so.
This is the first draft?
Yes, and then, did you give them their binders, Catherine, of all the outside
yeah.
agency requests?
No, not yet.
No, okay.
Nothing ready.
In the works, though, they're there.
I have them all compiled, I just have to put them in the books.
I think mine are over there.
Yep.
Not anymore.
Have them out.
She came and got him.
All right.
She's ahead of us.
So, so this is a good thing.
Yep, really good thing.
I mean, there's still some
Now-
pieces that need to be filled in, and more detail will be provided to the board when it comes time for your review, but this gives you a good first blush.
Now,
Oh, it's
the
gonna be like
budget
that.
is
First
due
page.
October 1st,
Wait a minute.
but yet we have scheduled budget work meetings for ourselves in October. Okay. Because I wasn't at the last Park Commissioners meeting, but I wouldn't have said anything anyway. They didn't get notification.
So I thought Tim was notifying the Parks Commission. I said, Tim, did you notify Parks Commission? He said, no. Did you notify Parks Commission? I said, no, but don't you usually have to give something to the Budget Committee first anyway?
No, you have to remember, it's the selectmen's budget. The Budget Committee can call anybody they want in or not.
Okay, have they
So
called the
they are
Parks Commission?
required, the Park Commissioners need to give their budget to the selectmen.
Okay,
The selectmen should review it before it goes to the Budget Committee.
Okay.
Right.
And, I mean, every year this happens, so somebody has to be responsible in notifying all the agencies that we've divvied out our budget into, since it was one page, and created the monster.
right.
But somebody should be
Right,
responsible.
but as selectmen, we don't issue any requests to any of the outside agencies. We just
I'm not
wait for those.
talking about outside agencies, I'm talking about Conservation Commission, Park Commission, PD, Public
Yes,
Works.
all the
of
town departments.
Town Clerk's
Yep.
Department.
Yep, those are-
IT.
yep, yep.
Finance, all those departments
those
that make up the
recycling.
selectmen's budget, yes.
Yes, but Parks
Should
Commission
get
kind
a
of was the
letter.
orphan.
A document, a letter, not an email or phone call, though those can come second, but primarily a hard copy saying, the budget is due by da-da-da. We don't want the budget to go up more than 1%, 2%, or we don't want the budget to go up at all, whatever is required.
Right.
And we need to designate that responsibility to an individual, so that next year, we don't have that problem again. And this year, going forward, that those units of our budget are notified of meetings.
I know, they are all notified, it's just that Parks Commission was the orphan. Because
There
Parks
was a
Commission
couple of
just
orphans.
deals with,
Wasn't there? I thought Conservation Commission
no, I
was,
talked to, no, I talked
So
to.
Park Commission, again, was the only one?
Only because in my mind, it's, the Parks Commission just deals with Finance Office. I mean, the bills go directly to the Finance Office. Everything goes to the Finance Office, so I'm kind of out of the loop on that. So I
But it's
just
the
figured.
selectmen's budget.
Correct, so we will make sure that the Parks Commission is notified. We did have a very short window from the time the board approved the
Who came up
schedule
with
to
the
get.
October 1st date? Was that the Budget Committee?
No, when we presented Tim's budget schedule.
Tim presented it
Oh, that's right.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so we had a very short window to get in touch with everybody, especially the outside committees, because they don't meet on a weekly basis.
So can we go back to the drawing board and admin and get that 1.45% increase down to nothing?
No. Your payroll increases. If you take payroll increases out, if you take payroll out of the equation, you
Yep,
will see less of an increase, won't you?
yes, definitely. If you take out payroll, it's level funded or below.
And probably if you took payroll out of the PD budget, you'd also see a decrease in the increase.
See you on,
Well, if you
gotta show
go
you
with that
that.
theory, then why is finance 0%?
Is the wage in finance?
Well, what I had suggested to
It
Tim was...
should be
is
split.
He should separate out debt service from the finance. So he should have finance, and I said you could still get it on 2 pages. Have finance, have IT, and debt service. It's 3 separate things. That way you'll be able to see,
So land use, TCTC,
yeah, like those are all separate.
and IT are the big ones. Police, not bad. They can live with that. Well, we'll have to take time to digesting that.
So we're on track.
Just depends on how fast you're going and whose track you're on.
Well, we're better than last year. Okay, last week, the board had approved having downtown Halloween on the 31st, which is a Friday night. Cindy delivered the flyers to downtown merchants, and they said they would like to have it the week before because their stores will be closed Halloween night.
I heard that 2 different places.
Yeah, why are they closing Halloween night?
I never do.
There's other things happening that they're committed to.
So when do they want to have it? The 24th?
Week
Yeah,
before?
they want to have it the week prior,
I still want to know why they're closed the 20th.
because Halloween night, they don't want to stay open late because they want to go home for their families.
And it for their neighborhood.
Yes. So they don't want to leave, stay open until 6 o'clock for the trick or treat on Main Street. They won't stay open until 6 o'clock.
Right, they want to
We
go
won't
home
have
with their
any
own
businesses
families. Right,
Why not have it the night before?
When,
because the night before is a Sunday night, and then a lot of,
Friday's Halloween.
Yeah, it would be a
All
Thursday.
Hallows Eve,
so a Thursday,
This is trick or treat on Main Street.
that's right, is Thursday. Thursday
Here.
is technically the day that you celebrate All Hallows Eve, or,
This woman is entirely too technical for me.
Catherine, I believe that All Saints' Day is November 1st,
maybe,
which would put Halloween, All Hallows Eve on the 31st.
okay.
But
don't know.
it's the day before All Saints' Day, which is the 1st of November, I
Is
do
it?
believe. Yeah. That's why it's Halloween,
So.
it's the 31st.
Oh, see, I,
Chief's here.
thank you.
Tanger
here. Now,
Tanger is
finish.
doing theirs on Friday night, the 31st, because they're open till 9.
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
So,
Our trick or treat down Main Street, they won't be open then.
Lots of them won't,
That's not- I'll tell you.
from what I understand.
you know, we have such a great, wait a minute, we really need to consider this, because
Oh, no, I'm all in favor.
our
We
downtown
have to
with
do for
trick or
downtown.
treat is just, if you've ever gone down there,
Oh, yeah,
it's
it's
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
To see the community come out with, like that, it's just so much
Into
fun.
our downtown, not exit 20. Now,
I'm
I
all
love
over that.
Tanger Outlets,
But how many
but
parents are going to want to do that?
we'll see.
The
know.
little ones love it. All the parents would do it because the little ones don't go out in the big neighborhoods.
And we've never had it on
This
Halloween
is
in my
more
experience.
contained,
yeah,
it's...
I never took Thomas out and
Right.
This is their Halloween, the
we went
little
to
ones.
only certain people's
So
houses
the
that we knew.
merchants had said that they've always been doing it the Friday before Halloween, so
Yeah.
the previous Friday would be the Friday before Halloween.
I'm in favor of that.
So can they
The
advertise
24th?
that out in the
Well, they're
papers?
not, the people aren't going to advertise trick or treat on Main Street.
You do, you get flyers out
Oh,
and say,
I'll do the
Yeah.
flyers and everything, oh,
And
sure.
let Donna Rhodes know and
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
now, are we going to have, are you going
Go
to,
with that, chief?
are you going to be able to muster up some prizes?
I can't rustle up any more prizes. I just hit up everybody for making strides for breast cancer. Let's see, what else did I do? You know,
What do
you don't
you,
want to see me.
What do
can
you,
you rustle up some prizes?
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Concur with
You're
that.
going to take care of a prize? Huh?
Cindy,
Chief's
I'm
gonna
sure
get us-
people love to see you
Chief
coming.
is going to get us 4 prizes,
You are?
first, second, third, and fourth,
4? He says
Oh,
4?
okay, I'll make another flyer for that too. Wow, chief.
for costume.
Woo-hoo!
What kind of prizes do
Well, you are putting yourself out there now?
Well,
I got Patriot tickets.
she got Patriots tickets one year.
Big stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to dress up.
Kids though, right?
I'm going to put my costume
No,
on.
this is for the merchants.
We're going to judge, and so
for
the selectmen go down and
merchants,
judge John.
Not the kids, okay.
Yeah.
That evening, we'll meet at whatever time it is,
Costume contests for the merchants.
and then we go down and all the way down and up, and we judge the best costume, and there's a rivalry between some stores, trust me.
Now,
Oh, yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. I've
It
been
is.
3 times now.
have a costume for Halloween Day that I can wear here,
good.
so.
The best costumes
We
of the
always dress up on
storekeepers?
Halloween,
Yeah.
Okay.
The business owners.
Business owners, this is a contest between the business owners. Now, they'll get very creative,
Oh, yeah?
and they dress up for the people that come, for the kids that come to the stores. And they open their stores longer so that the kids can come. And then there's a few organizations that will set up along the sidewalk tables that, and give out some things. And one year, the antique place here had house and ghosts and
Years
everything
ago,
else.
Joanne and I made that.
What time
whole thing
is it from?
house.
What is it, 3 to 6 or
4 to
4
6.
4 to 6? So we'll meet at like
Okay, on the
4:15?
24th, I'll be out of town, so I can't do it this year.
Oh,
Well,
all right, so 4:15 we'll meet, and then we'll go around and we just check off on our little
That'll be
books
the
and
4:30, right around there.
4:30,
just
okay.
start walking up and down Main Street,
Oh,
and
it's a blast.
you'll catch up.
We'll wait for you to come. All right? So
All
4:30.
Saints Day is October
Oh, my
31st.
God,
Yeah.
you're still on it.
October 31st.
4 till 6.
What I said,
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
It's November
All
1st.
Hallows Eve.
Are you looking up All Souls Day or All Saints Day?
All Saints Day. Mm-hmm. Nope, it isn't. Then why did it say that in the beginning?
No, All Souls Day.
Why didn't it say that in the beginning?
No, when I was
That's
on,
Kim's Day.
before I put on it, it said All Saints Day, October 31st.
All right, so that's good. 4 prizes for the merchants.
And you're going to do the
I'll
flyer?
do the flyers and everything, and we'll get them passed out.
Okay.
And we'll include the inn.
Yep.
Just so you know, I'm not crazy.
Again, in my printer.
Oh, we need that. We need to
I
do
know,
that.
Friday,
so,
October
And I'm not
31st,
hooked
right?
up to Dory's.
I'm not insane.
okay.
Well, tell Tim tomorrow.
Al's, not Dory's.
Tell Tim to get you hooked up.
Okay, so now,
We said
let's
so.
get this straight. October 24th, we're gonna have Halloween on Main Street,
4 to 6.
Yes.
and we're gonna tell Tim to put it on our website, right?
Yeah, I have the flyer already on his desk,
Okay.
so, yeah,
Right.
we'll have the press ready.
Okay.
I think what we should do is put the sign out on the monument and let people know, because it doesn't get out to people, they're not coming down here.
Right.
That would be a
Week ahead
good
of
idea.
Yeah, you gotta really,
You
gotta
ask
give 'em a
Dennis to
warning.
put
yeah,
down
absolutely.
That means he's gotta make another sign.
Main Street.
washboard.
That's okay.
Yeah, put the sign out there. I agree. Let's
That's a good
do it.
idea.
We're
Okay,
filled
tell me the
with
hours
tonight.
again.
4 to 6,
It's the 24th,
24.
and it's downtown Halloween,
downtown.
Downtown trick or treat.
trick or treat.
Let's get it on.
Okay, trick or treat on Main Street, okay.
And we'll include the store and the Citgo, because they weren't included the one year.
Do they want to be in?
Yes, they wanted to be included.
Okay.
They are Main Street.
They
What
are Main
about the
Street.
businesses at Riverfront Place?
They
Main Street.
didn't care one way or another. We asked one year, and we asked the second year, and they didn't really care.
Yeah, so-
We went over and nobody was dressed, so.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. As you know, we just completed our 5-year assessment update where we had to recertify all of the elderly exemptions. Lauren has all of those documents, and normally what she does is she shreds them, but she wanted to check with the board first. Does the board want them back? If not, she'll just go ahead and shred them.
And shred them. How we want them back.
As long as we know that they're shred.
Right?
Yes.
Yep.
I think we can trust her to shred them.
I think so, too.
I have a question for you while we're on that. Can you find out when our agreement is up with Tilton School?
Now,
When did it expire?
with this update.
I thought it
I
was
knew it was
April
coming.
to, I thought it wasn't
To the next
Like you said.
update.
till the next update.
And I asked Lauren about that, and she said when she spoke with Beth, Beth said they were fine with the values.
Who's Beth?
Sheeran? Sheehan?
She's the business manager.
At the prep school? But what if we're not fined?
Well, Lauren's the one that sets them. And we've given Lauren the okay to do it.
They've had no new construction, right? No new conversions?
The field.
Oh, they did the field.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, every year they file their annual report with the town.
can't.
That's where they list if there's any changes.
No,
Do you see those?
that's not educational.
It is.
What are they, A12 forms that you get from all of them that you give to Lauren?
Yes, she has.
And from there, do they go into the assessment file, or do you have them in a separate file?
I have them in a separate file.
Okay. She can show them all to you.
I mean, my only concern is that there were a number of areas that weren't new areas that had been overlooked before, when we did the last one. There was a question, I believe, about the dining hall. There were some, so even though there wasn't any new constructions, as I said, there were areas that were overlooked.
Right, that was in the 2009, which was the first year that Avatar did a townwide update, because the information they were working off prior to 2009 was the vision information.
And that's the, 2009 is when we walked every one of
Yes,
them.
yes. So when Vision did it,
They must not have, so we're going to assume that the walkthrough in 2009 was 100% correct.
We can request another walkthrough.
no, I'm just saying that in 2005, Vision did the update.
Right.
Did the update. Then Avatar came in 2006, beginning of 2007, maybe? I don't know exactly when they came in. It's before I started.
Yes.
All they did was take the Vision data and do their magic software thing and just transfer all that data to populate all the Avatar cards. And then we started our assessment review to go to our 2009. It was during that process, because that big building had been finished. So when
Right.
that building was finished, they moved some stuff around, and that's when you guys went in.
Right.
For the
but
2009.
When we did the last assessment of the Tilton School,
Yeah.
there were areas
Yeah.
that was not new constructions
Yep.
that should have been taxed that
Yes.
weren't.
Right, and you
That was
picked that all
discovered,
up.
and we picked it all up. So what I'm saying is, are we to assume that in 2009, when the walkthrough was done, that we didn't miss anything?
I don't want to assume nothing.
No, me either.
I want to be exact.
Guess I'm missing, because
Well,
we're in
She wants to
14
make sure
now.
that-
Somebody
think
missed it in the
2009.
past. If somebody obviously missed something as glaring as a dining hall.
Yeah, but they did find it in 2009.
Right, so
All
my
right, you
point
found it.
is,
So how about from 2009 to 2014?
Now.
So what if they just did an alcove of some sort, or did a change somewhere? How do we,
They're supposed to report that.
and are
on
we
an
to
A12
assume
form.
that everything is going to be reported? Are we to assume that everything is where it's supposed to be? Well, I'm not assuming anything.
Okay.
I want to do another.
Overlooked reporting it.
If it was overlooked in 2009 until we found it when we did the walkthrough, I suggested another walkthrough in 2014.
Before we say anything.
Okay, but what I'm saying was, the fact that we changed assessors in 2009 is when you discovered that things had been overlooked.
Yeah.
We want to make sure nothing else has been overlooked since. That's what we're getting to.
we all make mistakes, we're just human. There are areas that maybe we didn't
So,
consider, we
so
didn't
what,
look at.
what do you want to do then?
Do a walkthrough.
I'm with Catherine, I want to do a walkthrough.
Yep.
I know most of the buildings,
So to make sure that
but
none
they're
of
not
the...
using the library anymore as a library. What are they using it for?
They're using the library as a library.
They don't have a librarian.
Yeah, but they still have a library.
But they don't have a librarian. So it could be used for other things.
Let's do a walkthrough.
Sure.
If you don't have another
Remember if any
opportunity.
permits were pulled for anything up there? or-
Yeah, we got permits.
Yeah, for some of the things, yeah, they come in all the time.
Maybe
planning
a
board.
couple things could have been changed in such
Yeah.
a way that,
We have records of those. They do report to us on a regular basis.
Yeah, if they're changing square footage, but what they're talking about is when you change a program area,
Right,
where it now becomes taxable.
where it was non-taxable before.
Someplace where education doesn't take place,
Yeah,
or where teachers live, that one kills me.
because some of the dorms, there's little alcoves at the end of each of the dorms where the teachers may sit with a student. There may be teaching going on there.
Well, I mean, to tell you, I got some teachers coming to my house,
That's education.
teaching in 2 of my rooms. I'm just saying.
remember
Okay.
many a night in the dining room.
How did
I don't
we get
wanna
on
know
this?
what kind of teachings it is.
We're talking about assessing.
And how do we get on to assessing?
Because you
The
were
question
talking,
was asked when,
Oh, to destroy the things, okay. These came in,
so you're going to set that up for us, right?
yep,
Okay.
I am. These go in the Selectmen's FYI.
I haven't even looked at that yet.
Oh, we received another check from Property Liability Trust to Health Trust as part of the settlement with the Board of Securities and Regulation. It's not tied to any particular coverage year. In the past, when we've had return of contributions, we had 2010, 2011, and 2012. So when we got the check, I called Candace, who's our representative, I said, oh, is this for 2013? And she said, no, this is just, the Bureau of Securities and Regulation said, no, you've got to, Property Liability Trust has to send another $17.1 million back to the members. So they're basing it on each group's premium contributions paid to the Health Trust between September 1st, 2013 and June 30th, 2014. So we just got this check this week, right, Monday? So it's going to take me a little while to calculate out, because I've got to go and look at everybody from September 1st of 2013 to June 30th of 2014, because it's covering 2 years. I can't just print a report saying what an employee contributed and to calculate out what their share of the return would be. And
What was the return?
what was the total, about $25,000. The bulk of which, well, for the non-union, it's 12% would be split up between the employees. The town gets the bulk of that money. And the union is for all of, well, see, it was different percentage contributions in that year. So it's a math calculation. It's going to take some time to compute and get back to the employees. Donna Lane sent the professional services agreement for the CDBG Windy Hill. I had Tim review it. I reviewed it. And the amount is for $1,125. It's a lump sum, no additional expenses. The grant allows for up to $2,000 to be spent on administrative fees, and it says, so her fee does not include the audit, advertising, or legal expenses. She'll bill for services not more than often than monthly to reflect the work that was performed for that period. And the implementation schedule is October, hire the CDBG administrator, September, hire an engineer for the study. That will be done by the Windy Hill Cooperative. December 24th, they'll have a semi-annual report due, and then June 2015, the project will be complete and the closeout. So that's ready for the board to sign. And then we had this is the last thing. I have nothing for non-public.
We do.
We met, Rip Patton met today with 3 local landscape companies, Belknap Landscape. Said total Total Care, Total Landscaping, is it TCL or TLC?
Total Grounds, yeah.
Total Grounds, and then another company from Epsom, Jungle Gym, and then also the representatives from Enpro that will be doing all the excavating of the, they're going to go in first and excavate all the hazardous materials, soil, put down the marker layer, and get everything all set up. So all the landscaper has to do is just come in and landscape. So it was a good meeting. Catherine was there, Chuck Mitchell, Kathy Mitchell. Glenn Smith came over because he and I had to go walk. I got plans, Pat, of the trail that's going to be coming through, meeting our property, so that we'll have documents that we can take with us. And fortunately, there's no land that requires an easement. They're all just temporary construction easements. So I have all that, and he showed me what was going on. So I feel more comfortable now, and he was able to answer a lot of questions that I had about the project. So he will have the bid specs out to those bidders before the end of this week, and he's going to give them 2 weeks to respond. And the important thing he said right now is to get what the total cost is going to be. We need to know what the cost is, because then he will be able to then to negotiate further with whoever he selects. But it's looking like now, just in talking to the conversation that was going on with the landscapers, is that we may have to go ahead and get, go ahead and he'll contract for the services, have Enpro go in and do all the site prep that they have to do, and then we secure the site so that come spring, all the landscaping companies just come in and actually do the plantings.
The landscapers, or I suppose they'll be the last ones there because they're going to do the final grading, will stabilize the soil.
And one of the landscapers had suggested, and I have to talk with Rip about this, is there's something that you can spray on the loam, because our Enpro is going to have to put down gravel and then the mesh and then some loam. So to keep that secure so you don't have grass and weeds and everything grow up, there's something that you can spray on it. It's
Yeah,
like a
they'll
hydro.
spray that green stuff without the seed.
Hydro seed?
Yeah, they'll hydro seed without the seed.
Hydro seed without the
They
seed.
did the same thing at 132 Ballfield.
Okay.
Because there isn't much that's going to grow in the winter anyway, and then they have to get there as soon as they can in the spring to plant.
With the rye.
But what we have to do is put up those delineators and get the state to put up the reflectors and put up no parking signs so that nobody can drive, no steamrollers can be. But it was beautiful out there today. It was just beautiful.
It is nice out.
So it's still going to happen. And then there was some questions about, and again, when I had sent out the final plan, I said, if you have any questions, ask Rip. Well, in reading on the plan, it's describing exactly what is going to be planted. So Kathy had mentioned that on here it says 148 echinacea plants.
Mitchell.
Kathy Mitchell, who did I say?
You just said Kathy.
Kathy Mitchell. And the other landscaper said, oh my God, that's way too many. Why so many? So those kinds of things can be worked out.
We don't. Did they,
Perennial's a perennial.
Yeah.
The cost of it is about the same.
Exactly.
And echinacea are invasive.
did they figure out the fence between the abutter and the parking lot?
No, he just said that there would be a fence there. And he also told them that they would be responsible for moving the boulders. So I hope that these people have the trucks that can carry these boulders.
They have the trucks, but they don't have the equipment. I'll bring that up with the selectmen. So if it would it'll save the town a lot of money to have one of the town guys go over there with the loader, now that we have the grabber to load those rocks.
So be it.
Because otherwise, you're going to be paying a mobilization cost,
Yeah.
plus time and labor,
Right, 'cause-
for them to have equipment over there.
Yeah, Dennis's concern was he didn't want his truck bodies to be all banged up. Because they put sanders in them and they just
They're dump trucks.
Yeah.
I know, but you could ride one of his trucks in the parade. His trucks are so well kept.
Actually, we have ridden in his trucks in the parade. I admire and respect that, and they're dump trucks, and we'll put dirt in,
And they are designed to have stuff
or
to
rocks, or selectmen.
The selectmen in Tara.
Oh, we've been riding in a dump truck, John. You'll love it.
I did last year, remember?
There you go. Oh, that's right.
There's
That's
still some
right, too.
tar. You still
Yep.
have tar.
I want to ride in the bucket of the loader. Dennis says it's a safety issue, but I'm the guy who's going to get tased, so throw caution to the wind.
What the heck?
There you go.
Why don't you have them talk to us in public?
The other thing I wanted to point out is, which was new information to me, which makes perfect sense, is that the soil that's there that's being excavated, they're just going to be moving that soil around. They're going to do everything they can to not take that soil off-site, because if you do, it costs a lot of money.
It's contaminated.
So when they level and grade the site as much as they can, and then they put down the gravel, and they put down the mesh, and they put down the loam, then when you go in to do the plantings, the landscaper has to allow so many feet for the root structure of the plants, and a lot of these trees, like he said, the boxwood, I guess, one of them didn't like the boxwood, that it's going to be like raised beds, but it won't be like flat land and then all of a sudden you have this thing. It's just, it'll be gradual, because it's going to be a very large area.
Are you talking about the plantings between the property owner and the parking lot?
Any plantings
They're
that
not
they're
going to be
doing.
raised beds.
They're not going to be raised
We
beds?
resolved that.
Do you want me to sign here, municipality?
Yes.
Yes, we left that blank for you.
Thanks.
The plantings between the parking lot and the abutter,
Yeah,
instead of being raised beds, and the concern was, the reason they wanted to raise it, and actually they were going to mound it, it was going to be 18 inches in the center and then taper down to finish grade, is because of the barrier. And it's a marker barrier. It's not like the cap we have in Riverfront Park.
Right.
This is just, oh, by the way,
Yeah,
you've
oh,
hit this
yeah, you
point,
dug too far.
don't dig any further.
yeah.
So what Rich suggested, which I thought was brilliant, is something like a snow fence that would allow the roots of plants to grow past the barrier. And therefore, you wouldn't need 12 to 18 inches of soil,
Huh.
which is why one of the landscapers was recommending it, because, you can't plant 4 inches of soil
Yep.
and expect it to root well. So with that type of barrier in that location, where the plantings are, it doesn't have to be mounded, so it'll just be maybe a gentle slope or level,
Okay.
which is good, because the Conservation Commission doesn't want any mounds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was brilliant of Rip to suggest that. He was going to notify all the landscapers that were there, because some of them had already left.
Are we coming in the afternoon?
We don't have one this week.
And,
Okay, there's your CBDG.
okay. And was there anything else in the FYI or the TBC
Yes.
that you had questions on?
Yes, I do. We have to decide on the Mike Sata.
Yes. I thought that was later on the agenda, wasn't it?
Did you, that was under your items.
Or we can do it now.
Oh, okay, we can do it. Okay, we do have an appointment for the wedding. Are you going to go over, or did you?
Oh, yeah, I've already talked with the lady. I'm going to meet her over there. I've got a paper, but, well, wait a minute. Let's see if this is the same wedding.
We have something in the,
There's one on the 22nd.
No, this is a different one.
Yeah, that's a new one.
That's the one on the 22nd?
No, this is the island. I think that's, what's the date on that one, Jeff?
Look when this was signed.
I know, they were
Look
planning
when it
ahead.
was signed. What's the date on the bottom of
Oh,
that?
yeah, I know. Should have been 13.
We,
1301. Now, what month is 13?
Oh, 10/14. That's another one.
January.
Wow.
They want it 10/20.
That's 1/1.
No, it's the date.
13/1, 12/1 is December 1st.
20 is
the
always
date
the
is the
day,
20th.
is the day, and then the month, and
You
then
know,
the
it was a
year.
little strange,
There must be,
but this is a
Not from
new
me.
application.
I don't know when I'm supposed to be there.
maybe Canadian.
But let me show you.
Okay, I'll,
Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place, but did you
No, it does, it says January 13, 2014.
They were planning ahead.
13/01.
Right here, too.
Okay. That's the date of the application.
All right,
This
we-
goes in the FYI too.
Tom, can you put it
let's-
backwards?
we
I
need
get
to
it.
find out this,
this is the date of the wedding, October 20th,
Okay,
2014.
she just puts it back.
the Youth Assistance Program.
I just wanted to be there. Yeah, you bet, I got it.
All right.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm cooking for a bunch of guys at a moose camp. But I leave on the 16th, and they'll be back to like the 28th, I think.
What do you got going on?
Right, 99 years.
A wedding.
It's on the 20th of October.
Thank you.
The Youth Assistance Program, everybody got,
Monday.
everybody got attention over here, okay? The 10/20, who's available?
10/20, that's a Monday,
10/20
right?
is a Monday
Yeah,
At what time?
at, looks like
Noon.
noon.
Till 1800 hours.
6 o'clock.
Noon to 6?
70 people.
Wow.
Where are they going to park?
I don't know. During the day, they're going to have a problem.
On the 20th?
The Salmon Run.
If there's only 7 people, they can park beside the road.
70,
Oh, 70. Good luck with that.
Monday.
That's a holiday.
No, the 20th.
Is that Columbus?
Is it a holiday?
No.
No. The 13th is the holiday.
I'll go over noontime.
Noontime? So Al's going to take it.
okay, good, thank you.
It
All
reminds
right,
me,
here's a letter,
Can I just say...
Friday the 10th.
I want to make sure that whoever goes over there and they're having a wedding, because it was recently stained, stain has a tendency to rub off for a while.
I'm going to tell them, and they know it's being done.
You might want to put like a little sign or something, make sure it stays up there, because, wedding dresses I know are very expensive,
Are
and
they going to urethane it? Or
they
the clear
stain
coat
it.
is-
shellac it?
they are the roof.
What the finish is.
The roof they are.
With the benches?
I don't know. They told me about the
Stain
roof.
finish, but I believe it, there's a good possibility that it's going to rub off on a white
I
dress.
got one job.
I'm going to mention to them Saturday morning, because I'm going to go down there early, and to meet with the
Friday.
lady, and she knows it was being
The
done,
only
but
ones
I
here.
will reiterate
After
that,
Dari leaves at 1:30.
be real careful you don't rub the white wedding dress up
No, the
against
10th,
the
I said,
stain.
no.
Might
we do
still
need to
be
do
a
the
little chalky.
You wrote back and said,
Could happen, right?
meet me because she's going to be here.
That was last week.
Yeah.
What happens is there's always 2 people in our office.
That was last week.
All right. This is from the Youth Assistance Program. Everybody listen up because we have to make a decision.
Is there something?
In an effort to better serve the community, the Youth Assistance Program has been looking into possibilities of accepting referrals for youth who have committed an offense within our community but reside out of it.
Sounds good.
This would provide more options for law enforcement when dealing with youthful offenders and increase the likelihood that victims of juvenile crime will be compensated. When the youth resides in an area served by a state-approved juvenile diversion program, YAP will oversee the case transfer. When the youth lives in an area where no such program exists, YAP can provide juvenile court diversion and case management for a fee. After researching program policies and fee rates of other New Hampshire juvenile court diversion programs, we have determined that a fee of $150 would be appropriate. All service to local Tilton and Northfield youth will continue to be top priority. In addition, we would like to maintain 5 slots for out-of-the-area youth when feasible, and when it does not impact services to Tilton and Northfield youth. At this point, we are seeking input from the Board of Selectmen as to this possible policy change. Please let us know if there are any questions or concerns. Don Schimberg. I don't have any problem with it
Do
at
they
all.
find themselves with open slots often?
No, the directors, I was at the youth assistance meeting last week. We've been talking about it for a while, and what happens is, you have like a group of kids in Riverfront Park. You may have a couple from Northfield, one from Tilton, one from Samerton.
I'm a big
Samerton is
believer in
part of
youth
it.
assistance. I just want to make
So,
absolutely sure
Because
that
it's the same,
Tilton and Northfield get the benefit
oh, yes.
basically because Tilton and Northfield pay the freight for the
That's right,
program.
but this would bring in, but they'd be paying.
A money-making thing, okay.
Well, not a huge profit, but they will be definitely paying for their own program.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly because, like, for example, Samerton kids go to Winnisquam Regional School, and
They get Samerton kids.
they get referrals and they have to turn them down.
As I recall, Samerton refused to help fund that agency.
Right.
At least twice in my,
They're selectmen and members of the budget committee.
Yeah, I'm just concerned to make sure that the fee that they charge them is enough to offset
Yes.
the cost that they're bringing
Yeah.
on to us, that we're not footing the bill for the towns that
So
say they don't want it.
It was
as,
discussed, we discussed it first in the spring, and then she looked into it, what other communities charged, and that,
So that will be on their budget as income for this year,
Right.
projected income from it.
So as a representative in the Board of Directors, do you want to pass that back to YAP from the Board of Selectmen, that that's our only concern, that we make sure that they're charging enough to...
and they are, that's what I just said,
sustain,
they are.
okay.
They studied it, that's what she studied over the past few months, and then we just met last week, and she said, this is the fee I've come up with, this will cover our
does
costs.
that mean that that's the same fee that basically is what it's costing us to have a child from Tilton or Northfield go through the very same thing?
Well,
Because if the
That
Tilton and Northfield
fee-
kids are paying more
no.
out of our taxes, not that they're paying out of their pocket.
No, you have to understand that fee pays, there are other, depending on the infraction, there are other fees that they might have to pay. But that's for the basic,
So
diversion program.
consensus is we support them, and we encourage them to go forward with filling the slots whenever they can. and
With
charging the fee.
concerns that I don't have exact answers, but I support YAP, for sure.
Yes.
Right.
Next.
Okay, next on our list is, now, before the chief, let's do the, last, 2 weeks ago, that's right, because I wasn't here. We made a decision to do the Lakes Region Mutual Fire Aid Association representatives. We made Catherine Dawson our regular voting member, and Joe Jessamine as our alternate member, and there's been some discussion on that, and it would probably benefit us
Madam Chair,
to have, go ahead.
while we're having this conversation, I would like to make a motion to appoint Michael Sitar as the alternate. Yay or nay? Because I have absolutely no problem, well, this is under discussion. I would make the motion.
Well, I was trying to discuss it. You're having a,
Well, there's
can we just,
Second.
where's the gavel here? Oh, I think we need the gavel for
Don't
Joe
gavel me
tonight.
out until nobody seconds my motion.
Or you were just cutting us off. You did it to Catherine a few minutes ago, and then,
I'm that kind of guy. Catherine can take care of herself.
all right, so the discussion is that it would benefit the town, probably benefit us, that Chief Satar attend the meetings, and if Catherine can't, be our voting member. So,
It's only 4 times a year.
yeah. So I will second Joe's
Oh,
motion.
there we go. I thought it was out of line.
Except, other than the fact you cut us off in the middle of the conversation.
Well, this is
Any
where we're
discussion
going.
on the-
And I'm totally in favor of that, because as much as concerned as I am about the spending of Tilton tax dollars, Chief Sitar is going to be a much more knowledgeable individual in that chair, and he'll have access, even if he doesn't have a vote every single time at this point, he'll also be privy to the decisions they make, and that's an important thing.
Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. so-
No,
Okay.
I'm not in favor.
Abstain, okay. Record as such, Kathy?
Yes, please, thank you.
I needed one. Chief?
Yep.
You're up.
Okay.
It's the sign thing. Can you look at this too? Hang on.
Evening, Chief.
Evening. I just got a text from Nate, he can't make it, Detective Buffington.
Okay, that's fine.
So, he said next week,
Yeah.
if that's okay.
That's great.
Just give a little bit of a...
That was on the,
Celebrate.
yes.
Little bit of a rundown. Last week we did calls, so this week I'll do offenses. So,
Could you just speak in the little mic?
Yep.
Please, thank you.
So our offenses to date are 373, total incidents 403. Last year we did 551 total. We're at about 251 motor vehicle accidents for the year. Last year we were at 234, so accidents are up. Training, we have interview and interrogation coming up in 2 weeks, and then also we're hosting a new class. It's a new class to the law enforcement training in the country called Drug Endangered Children Investigations. FLETC, Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, is coming up here to do the pilot for this class in Tilton.
When is that?
21st and 22nd.
Of October?
So that's coming up. They've never done it before, so they're coming up from Glencoe, Georgia, and we're the first agency to try this class.
How many people do you have in the class?
It'll probably have about 40 or 50 in it.
And how many of our Tilton PD do we have?
We'll probably have the investigators and supervisors go through it. This is the first time they're trying it. It's actually paid for by Homeland Security, so there's no cost for it to anybody. So it's free. We have that coming in.
Is this just paper knowledge, book knowledge, or is there hands-on?
It's for investigation of crimes related to children and involved with drugs. So not children selling or using drugs, but mostly their parents and the children to the, the victims in the family. So it's a brand-new class that they're seeing that, the children are kind of left to fend for themselves if mom and dad have serious drug issues. So how do we deal with those investigations, and, what do we do with the children?
So it's more of a how-to class.
Yes.
So it's not a book, it's not
No.
hands-on, it's a how-to class.
Yes, how to. And they just feel there's more and more of that, so they want to give law enforcement kind of a template on how to deal with it, which is good. So some of the heads of FLETC, which is the largest federal training agency in the country, are coming up just to see the pilot be given. So they have a system, that console finally came in, so they're installing that this week.
Nice.
Remember the one that goes on the
Yeah,
dash there?
yep. The lights
Who's
already in?
installing it?
They're doing it, OME.
They're doing it themselves?
Not here, but in Moultonborough.
I thought the company we bought it from was doing the install.
They never do their own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Possibly.
Ospey.
Yeah.
They do all our work anyways, it's pretty much.
Yeah. Nothing really to mention with the building this week. the supervisors kind of redid their office a little bit to make some more room in there and kind of consolidated so they're sharing workspaces, and it came out really nice.
Any headway on the ergonomic aspects of the dispatch area?
Yep, so I had, our Property Liability Trust came out today and kind of inspected all our desks, and it specifically started with dispatch, but then kind of worked around, and they said everything met their standards, height, all of that, so they're going to give me a report, Kevin. So we'll
Chief,
have
is
that.
there a range? We'll take 12 to 14 inches, or 30 to 34 inches, or is it an exact height?
No, not an exact, because some of the desks were 29, some were 29 and a half, some were 30. He said that's all,
It depends on what.
yeah, all a
right.
good range.
Preference?
Yeah, he says, because an inch or two doesn't make a difference, because you can adjust the chairs.
But what about the height of the person?
And he said that
Huge
makes a
difference.
difference, so if
It's a
it's a
huge
shorter person, they might raise the chair up more. But he said, like our dispatch is exactly 29, he said that was perfect. He said the way it's angled is perfect, the height of the screen was just right. He said some dispatch centers he goes into, the screens are too high, so you're always looking up, so you get a crick in the back of your neck. He said you want it to be, if you put your hand out straight, it should sit on the top of the screen or a little lower. So the
You're
first thing he
looking
did was sit in the
right, you're
chair.
looking down.
He put his hand on the screen, he said, yep, that's right. Keyboard,
However, that's only for him. I mean, it's perfect for him,
Right.
but when you have somebody that's 5'2",
right,
or 5'3", now it changes.
right,
And just because the chair adjusts, it doesn't adjust the half inch or an inch. It only is like about a half inch that the chair does.
right,
So you have to really make sure that it's the person that's sitting there, if that's a permanent position, then you have to make sure that that person does the same thing,
right.
and then see the difference. Because Kevin is tall or a average size, so if he does that, it's going to be perfect.
Mm.
If you have somebody 5'2", or,
Say our dispatcher who approved it before we built it? I mean,
Is he
didn't
gonna-
she approve
he gonna
this?
give us a
But it turned out
report?
wrong? Why don't we just change it?
Yeah, so,
If she wants it another inch higher, we just put something under her chair or whatever it takes.
Get a chair that will raise to that height or whatever, but
Right.
as long as we
Yeah.
have a written report from him of his
Yeah.
findings, we're all set.
yeah, he said, yeah, that he would compile that today, so he inspected all of them, he checked Lisa's out, went into the patrol room, went into the supervisors. I said, while you're here, you might as well do them all. So he-
Anything we need to fix?
No, actually not. He said everything was fine. He said, like, Lisa's desk is these two different levels. He says they don't do those anymore. He goes, when you replace it, her desk, he said, just get one level. He said, and they have less stuff underneath. They want that more open, so that when they swing, their feet aren't restricted.
All like the old
and they're-
typewriter desks.
and they're not
they-
bending to pick it up,
They're not bending to pick it
'cause
up.
that's
and,
where the damage is.
He said just avoid screens being too high. Keyboards, I'm one of these types, and he said it's actually better
Right.
about here. So he said that where the keyboard was in dispatch was perfect. And he said because when you're out here, you're kind of slumped over. They send him to all these ergonomic classes, but he did say that a lot with ergonomics is on the person more than the equipment. And he said a lot of it is sitting down with the individual and kind of,
We're not out of the range of reality, though, over there.
no, I learned a little. I mean, it's good to have him come in. He said he'll sit down with any employee and kind of go over the
So he'll
stuff.
do that when she comes back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just look at some.
The events coming up this weekend, there's a ribbon cutting for the new school at new field at Tilton School.
I'm going to be there.
Yep. That's 12:30 on Saturday. Hopefully rain will hold off till
Did
after.
you make sure that you called in for us, RSVP'd for us?
Okay.
That's for the
Tilton
Tilton
School.
School ribbon cutting, ribbon cutting.
You going, John?
For the Saturday at the...
At 12:30?
Yeah.
So John, myself,
I will not be able to
Yeah.
be there.
I'll be there.
Joe,
I'll just take one of those invitations with all the information and I'll call.
all right.
Plus, this weekend for them is Parents' Weekend, so it actually started today. So between today and Sunday night, all the parents are in for the weekend.
So it should be a big thing on
It'll be a big thing.
Saturday.
So, and it's alumni weekend, so, yeah, everyone's on campus this weekend. The
Do we
alumni,
know if
the
they've made
parents.
any adjustments on those lights, considering their startup tests? Oh, yeah, you're going
They were going to meet with the neighbor.
I know,
Sent her an email. Yeah, you-
Joyce, will you find out what the Tilton School did as far as the light pollution that was experienced when they tested their field lights?
Yep, I will.
Thank you.
And you have to shut them down. Sorry.
It's probably lights in the afternoon.
The 5K for breast cancer at Tanger Outlets is Sunday morning, so that's at 8:30. We'll be there for that. Confirmed with Walmart, we're okay for Vicky Virgin on October 18th. Tim was in yesterday. On October 9th, we're doing the VPN firewall for our system, which is important so we can go to the next level with the state, so that we can get away from what's called a T1 line and have a virtual, much faster, much easier. And at least for right now, it'll reduce the cost too, so that's a good thing. We've been waiting for that. And that's all I have, if anyone has any questions.
I have a question, and this was a phone call recently. I hope I answered it correctly, but I just want to hear it from you. When officers participate in torch runs and breast cancer runs and however, what they do they do that on their own time, or do they do that on town time?
If they're working already, it's on town, so if they're on their day off, it's on their own, essentially. So, and it depends what it is and where it is, but,
Depends on the event.
yeah, we don't do it with overtime, and, a lot of guys donate their own time to it. We can't force them to, but if it's for a good cause, they do, so.
Okay. All right, we have a non-public that would concern you. After
So,
your
hang,
report.
yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Hang. Anything else for the chief?
This gentleman that came up, did he have
Oh,
some?
yeah, what was that?
He just wanted to know if the land was either owned or leased by the school district where they play football behind Tanger Outlets. That was his question.
And it's
No, it's leased by the town.
That's what we told him.
99 years.
Come see us at 99 years.
That's a curious question.
Well, he wanted to know if the sign at the island applied over there. If it
No,
would,
there's different rules
yeah.
over there. I think all of the parks say the same gun. That came from
Right.
Kent Chapman at the time.
So that was his question. And then he said his wife was waiting and he had to go.
Okay.
Interesting. Thank you, Chief.
All right, I have two things for public. Don't forget Vicky Virgin Food Drive. We need people from 9 to 3. We need some people at Market Basket, and we need some people at Walmart.
That's this Saturday.
That's the 18th.
The 18th. Okay,
Yeah, that's the 18th, and
When is
it's
that?
2 weeks.
2 weeks from,
Oh.
2 weeks from Saturday.
She got it.
We'll give you a countdown.
I just got a phone call today that the Tilton Senior Center is, again, expanding their meal program. On Mondays, they will have a brunch there. So every Monday, they'll have a brunch. So yay to us. It's
That's very
Yay
nice.
for the
really
seniors,
going-
yay.
It's really taken off, huh?
Yeah, that is really nice.
I am so proud.
How's Emily doing over there?
She's great.
Oh, I'm sure she is. I
Absolutely
just
great.
wondered she's okay with everything and
Yep.
outstanding.
The amazing thing
Oh, no,
is,
she's
it's
good.
a time when
I'd like to
others
see her do
are
it full-time,
failing.
but I know the considerations.
Right.
It's so good, so the enthusiasm
Right.
and the need is definitely,
The need
Well,
is
it
definitely...
started
because
out
it's a-
slow, but it's building, and the need is there, you bet.
I don't even think that it, with people-wise, I don't think it started off too slow. The construction and pieces to get it together and the programs started off slow, but the people kept coming and coming.
Oh, yeah,
When you're
yeah,
doing
yeah.
this, when you're doing this, when...
Wednesday
so-
nights, you can't find a place to park,
No.
anywhere around that
And
neighborhood.
Awakening allows you to park over there, too, and you still can't find a place to park.
No,
Does the veterinarian allow people to
Yes.
park there?
Yep.
You still have that agreement?
Yes, we
but
do.
those people who,
Yep.
I actually talked to that person, the office manager, not the doctor herself.
Right.
Like, oh, no problem.
Dr. Jim.
All right,
That's her name.
does anyone have anything that needs to be out in the public session?
I have a couple of things.
Okay.
I want to bring over tell you about the flagpole.
Manville Road. When we talked about the culvert,
That's public, right?
I said that I'd find out how wide Manville Road is. The town was deeded by John Mansfield. The town was deeded the old railroad right-of-way, and it begins at Route 3. There's actually 3 sections of land that were deeded, and it culminates at the river or the lake, and it is 33 feet off-center. So the right-of-way is 66 feet wide. So 33 feet off-center certainly includes those pine trees.
Oh, yeah.
It does. Also includes where that drain comes out.
Right.
Actually including that banking.
But even if we include where the drain comes out, that drain, topper drain is at least 3 feet below grade.
I know.
So I don't remember what was there
That
years
road's been
ago.
built up.
So was that drain actually on the right-of-way?
The drain, where it ends now, I will bet you, but we'd have to measure it, is probably within that 33 feet.
The result of the water expands beyond the 33 feet.
Where the water would run would
Yeah.
be off of
The
our,
erosion area is in
But
excess of 33
it
feet.
clears
although
the way.
Some of it is ours, the rest is his.
I mean, the problem with this is you make an assumption that the road was built in the center of the right-of-way. You'd like to think so. The markers that they talk about in the deed, a lot of them are actually under where the road is now because they were in the center of the right-of-way. So you'd have a time, I don't know, I mean, a good surveyor could probably lay it out again, but I really think as you can see in this, and I'll show John in a second, in this document, the right-of-way extends into the marsh. And this is not the swamp, this is what I call their lagoon, Manville Lagoon. So, and those
So the lagoon
trees,
is in our property.
part of that lagoon is within our right-of-way, or not right-of-way, it is a deeded, we own it property. It's not a right-of-way, we own it.
So I don't
The trees are out here.
get what, and where's the culvert now on his property over
The
here,
lagoon
right?
is on town
Right, the
property.
culvert is over in here
But
somewhere.
there's no moving the lagoon.
So what I don't get, when it
I
was
don't want to be
built,
responsible for
and the
what's under
culvert
that
was put
lagoon.
in, and the culvert was pretty close to being within the 33 feet from the center of the road, why would anyone allow him to backfill that because it was flooding his land? Why wouldn't they just have taken care of it at that point and said, hey, you're flooding the land, well, this is Town of Tilton's problem, you've got to fix it. But instead, all these years, they've got it filled, now we have a bigger problem.
Well, I can only guess at the time that it's been filled over a number of years and no one was made aware of it. No one was made aware of it. And, once it was filled in, nobody went over there and, questioned. It only took me a morning to find these documents, and it was because Cindy was going through the vault.
So,
Yeah, it was just,
I mean, I'm all for getting it fixed and making it right. I don't want to go through the same scenario where you get it right, to the best
well, it would
interest
be
of the town of
interesting.
Tilton.
It'd be interesting to find out where that 33 feet lies on the Chase property to see if the erosion is actually taking place on our property.
That don't even matter. That doesn't even matter.
Well, if it's
Well,
taking
if the
place on
erosion's
the...
taking place on our property, then, oh well, we don't mind.
So, if the erosion's taking place on the culvert, the erosion's before the culvert.
Whereabouts is a culvert on there?
Oh, somewhere in here, just...
Am I right?
We'll have to go and measure it.
Well, if you're standing in the road,
there were
you're going to
other-
pass over
I don't
the
have maps
the
for
erosion before you get
this
to the
going
culvert,
to the river.
going towards the
So
house.
judging where the marsh is, it's somewhere in
Culvert
here.
here, erosion, somewhere around.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if you're
probably
from the
in
center
here.
of the road,
Off of that
you
diagram.
have the road,
See, there were
you're standing here,
actually 3
and here's the
transactions.
erosion, and here's the culvert. If you go towards the road 33 feet, you're going to pass over the corrosion before you get to the culvert,
Follow
Most likely
and it's
on
going
our
to be
property.
ours.
where Crystal Lane is.
We should go with a tape measure.
What's our next step?
Measure.
Well, I left a message with Dennis. And I would say, conversation with Dennis, he really wants to fix the drainage by culverting on the opposite side of the street, bringing it down and then going under the road to the swamp. I hate the idea
You can't.
of sending road drainage directly into a body of water.
No, there's no chemicals
Of course there is, there's road salts, there's
out on
petroleum.
that road. Well, yeah, there is.
The vehicles bring them in, those tractor trailers
true.
bring them
If
in.
it's close to the road,
That's,
the main road.
Yeah, you remember, it abuts,
no, you're right, you're
it
right.
abuts the road into the Manville factory, whatever
Yeah,
it
it
is
does.
called now, and they can salt their road.
And
Yeah.
they, remember, was it last year or a couple years, I can't remember the
You have
years,
lead
but
from brakes?
on the railroad tracks, didn't they have to ice it because there was an ice buildup? They had to put salt on it in order to break that ice up? Because they couldn't pass through the,
No, right there at the crossing.
right,
Oh, God, yes.
So-
We've run up to the tracks.
Right.
With our salt.
yeah.
Salt sand mixture because of the danger of trying to get in and out of Route 3.
All right, so we'll hear from that about next week? No, the week after.
When's Dennis back?
When is Dennis back?
Joyce, when's Dennis back? Okay, so we'll need to
Put him on the agenda?
have him give us his
Thank you.
plan. I think as a courtesy, if we're going to take those tree downs, we should let the abutting property know.
Yeah, I'm not, I think we need to talk about that whole tree coming down thing.
Yeah.
We should consider game cameras at the
Give her that
gazebo,
back.
now that it is completed, finished, looking grand and wonderful. We really don't want people carving their names into it.
I'm 150% behind you.
What have we-
Cameras.
Game cameras on the island.
There's a poll for
I didn't know we moved on to that.
And you're talking about the flagpole on the island?
Yeah, we mentioned that we took the flag out, and we want to come up with something that was able to go up and down, and also be lit, so it'll give us flag etiquette at night and the ability for the half-mast.
Solar powered, John?
And I looked into it. I found some flag poles, 25 feet. They're running between like $985 all the way up to like $1,700. On top of that, you add options to it. Internal halyards, external halyards, and then on top of that, lighting would run anywhere between like $54 for a light that's not very bright, solar-powered, all the way up to $135 each, where you put 3 of them, spotlights, on there. Seeing as I don't think it's something that we're going to want to get done before spring, so maybe we could just look into it a little bit more. Catherine's got some more information. And there are lights like this, but to do that, you have to have a certain diameter pole. There is a possibility of retrofitting what we have there and keep it a simple pole, and
You still
for
have a
like
problem with raising and
$250.
lowering, right?
Yep.
Yep, and that could be retrofitted and protected from somebody being able to raise it and lower it.
Well, then, that's gonna be much less expensive than going out and spending $1,500, $2,000 for a new flagpole.
Well, here's one
I would
for,
think.
this one has a internal halyard for $961.50, is 25 feet. That's fiberglass.
Lots proper.
It's got
It's already coming
finial
down.
with whatever, I don't know.
It needs to be lit in some form, I think.
Mine is a
Yeah, I
yellow
mean,
one.
you can buy those lights that you can attach to the top of the pole.
Yep, that's what
And
I got
those are
mine.
between 50 and,
Yeah, and you can get
50
them,
and 135 for,
And they're solar.
they're solar. I mean, there's tons of those out there.
I think mine is like $70.
it's more like your higher-end one
Yeah.
that shines down, and this would be the top
Yep.
solar lights. There's 7 panels on the top that shines down on the flag. 1-year warranty, and part of the proceeds from the sale of that go to veterans.
That's nice.
Well, that's a plus, that's a win.
It's
right
not
there.
real bright, that one,
Well,
but it is
it
light.
doesn't have to be a halogen solar light or a halogen spotlight beam, as long as it illuminates the flag.
Correct.
I mean, I guess it depends on the lumens and whatever.
LEDs.
Usually, you-
It's not too bright, but how bright is not too bright compared to the bright one?
Well, that's why I figured if we're not going to be dealing with it, give us more time, and I'll do some more research on it. come
Give
up with the lumens.
specifications
I think I had
specifically for
some
solar lights
anywhere
for
from
flags.
3 to 30 lumens, so.
As long as we get one up there by next summer, I think we're good.
The last
Memorial
thing I
Day.
have is using the town loader, I mentioned it earlier, to load the rocks
I got it.
for Ernie's, for the landscapers.
Catherine? Pardon?
Landscapers, the town of Tilton is going to be responsible for supplying rocks. Jerry Shaley has been approached, and he's agreed to donate. He has
He's rock rich over there.
Oh, he's got a huge pile of them.
He does. Big one.
So he has agreed to donate, and I
nice.
have rocks over the years that we've put out in the back of the field, so they're both close proximity to each other. It would save us quite a bit of money if we could have one of the town guys go up in the town loader to actually load the rocks. You're going to save
Aye.
tons.
That would be great. And you're willing
Aye.
to donate these to the town?
I just stuck them out there because I didn't have any place to put them.
The question was, you're willing?
Yes.
Rocks are a property, a big weighty property. You come and take rocks at my house without asking and see what happens.
If they would want to take a left up to Silver Lake Road, you're in favor, right?
99 Silver Lake Road.
John, how do you feel about it? You all set with it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're all in favor of it. That was not a motion, but it's
I'll make a
consensus.
motion that we have the town equipment with the Public Works employee load the rocks donated for the Ernie's project.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Point of information, Madam Chair. Do we actually have to vote to accept the donation?
No.
We do with everything else.
Not unless, no, is it,
Money value.
it's $500 or more?
Rocks are worth money,
When we
depending
get a
on where you...
donation, is it $500?
If you had to go out and get one that
5,000.
weren't donated, you'd pay money for it.
We don't need a,
agenda and accept it at a public meeting.
Okay. I don't think these rocks are worth $5,000.
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're legal.
well,
That's
the
all.
more reason for taking a left to 99 Silver Lake Road.
I'll be there.
All right. That it for you?
I'm good, thank you.
Depends on where you're
good?
starting from. Yeah, it
All
is
right,
a little bit
you're good?
right.
Everybody's
I'm as good as I get.
All right, so I believe everything has been, one other thing, last week, did you talk about tasers I know that was...
Yes, we did talk about tasers.
It's hanging out there. It was
Come
proposed.
back.
They're coming back with the
Coming back.
info. But potentially, I'm going to get tased.
No decision was made except to
When are they coming
tase
back
Joe
with the
on
info?
December 9th
Yeah.
or 10th.
October 9th, I think, or December 9th. Yeah, December 9th.
The numbers on the tasers.
You have the numbers on the tasers. Do you know where you're going to get the money from in the budget and all of that, like we
Yeah.
asked you to?
Yeah, I talked to Tim about it, and he said we have it in wages, so.
Did you know?
And I
what-
have, Luke's done with taser as far as getting the quotes, so.
So he's got the quotes already?
Yep,
You have them with you?
yep, I do.
No, I asked about 3M.
The grant,
Well,
Want me to explain that?
the grant...
somebody should.
I could. You want? When somebody asks for a grant to be done in a corporation, and they say, yes, the grant is for such and such, you can't go back and ask them to change that grant to something different, because you'll never get a grant from them again, ever.
Is that based on experience or case law? or-
Based on experience in all the history of getting any grants whatsoever, and that's from, all the way from the little
Did we
guy
already
to the big
tell
guy.
them what it's for? That
We
was-
did.
Well, what did we say?
We said it was for the
Celebrate device.
Celebrate
device.
device.
Did we decide that we were going to get that?
No, but what the chief did was to go out and try to find funding, and he found funding, then he brought it to the selectmen and said, I've got a grant, and somebody will
Well-
cover it, to change that and say,
Well, I
hey,
think-
we'll, instead of doing that, we'll buy the
Well,
tasers out
I
of that.
understand that, but I was under the impression that the cell phone device was still up in the air and not decided that we were going to purchase that.
It's still up in the air. You're absolutely correct.
But why would we apply for a grant that if we were locked in to get it? You're saying that we already applied for the grant for the cell phone device to 3M, right?
They were very specific to the grant, the grant, right.
What my question was, is why are we applying for a grant for something that we aren't sure if this is what we want to get, when we have something such as tasers that we need to get that's a safety item?
Because
Most companies will not give you a grant to get anything that's gonna, is guns or harm to somebody. They don't like to do that. They're not up for it, and they won't do it.
I thought they gave us the ones before.
No, I actually,
Okay.
I've got it. In
Come on
my-
up, chief.
Yeah.
In my experience, John, they're talking about a dog. You've been involved in those conversations. Well, they've already gone out and approached places about funding for this dog, even though we haven't decided to get a dog, so that then when they come in, they say, oh, yeah, this person is willing to provide the food, this one's willing to provide the veterinary, and so forth.
And we haven't said yes yet.
And we haven't said yes, but they have a potential grant from
Right.
the veterinarian. We can't go and turn, I think what you're saying is, go to the veterinarian and say, well, you were willing to give $1,000, will you give it to the tasers? I think that's what they're saying. And why he went out in advance before we actually had the,
Well, if we decide that we're not going to get the cell phone device, then we just lost all the money for that grant,
Why would we decide not to get one, though?
because we haven't discussed it yet.
well, we could decide not to get one.
Well,
It's like we could
It's-
decide not to
it's a
get it.
policy- It is a possibility. I mean, it's a rare possibility.
Haven't voted
because
yet.
People are going to, somebody's going to buy it for us. Why would we turn it down? But,
can I discuss,
Perhaps.
can we bring that up for discussion now, then?
well,
Before we keep proceeding on that? Because I have some information on, I've done some research on it that I want to share with everybody on it.
no, I think we should put it on hold until the officer can be here to do the presentation on it.
What, the tasers? or-
No,
Technically, we're going to do the presentation.
the
on it.
presentation on the other, the celebrate.
Yeah, they
Oh,
couldn't
this-
make it,
yeah.
couldn't make it this week.
So we
We
had
could do it all at once.
hanging out there, dog hanging out there, and what's the celebrate?
It's a cell phone
Well,
usage
Maybe if we could,
program.
because I had some specific
why we asked
questions, so that maybe should have them so that the officer can address those when he gets here.
Do you want
Wanna
to
do
email
that?
them to the chief?
Would that be a good,
Me, I'll forward them.
okay.
And then we can get them
And then we
answered.
can get on.
That's a good idea, give them a heads up, right?
Yep.
We'll have
we can
the
get them
answers.
answered. And then we'll take up what was the total monies on the TASER? Unfortunately, it's coming up at the same time, and
Yeah, no,
it
I
doesn't
know.
usually come in the same time.
9,882.83.
There's a bonus in there, though.
Yeah, Luke had actually gone back to them and convinced them to give us 7 for the price of 6.
Bonus.
Told you.
And that's all the training cartridges for next year.
Maybe that's the one I need.
Well, that's the one they're gonna tase me with on the 9th.
That's the training cartridges, the holsters, that's
You're not coming back.
everything. And John, I did talk with 3M, and they don't want to do anything with weapons. So I flew it by him, and he says, we're pretty conservative. He says, we really don't want to get into that. And it's just, it's one of those things, companies, they'll help with technology, they'll help with, certain piece of equipment, but I've never been able to find a company that really embraces anything like taser.
Guns, weapons, and operating expenses, they don't want to touch.
They don't. But, so Luke's pretty much done with that vote, and he said that's the best he can do there.
So 9,082 with an 83 cents, and we're getting 7 for the total of 6, and that's with the warranty.
That's with,
That's with the
warranty,
five-year warranty on everyone.
Batteries,
the whole,
the tasing.
Everything.
Yeah, the glass, everything is in.
So you got the quote there?
I do, yeah.
How much is the quote for?
$9,082.83.
And that's for 6?
That's
7.
Or 7?
7 for the
At
price of
price
6.
6.
Price of
And how many do we use now?
We have 4 working ones. We have
4
actually
working.
8, right?
Yeah,
8 or 9, was it?
usually detectives have 2, supervisor will have 1, we'll have 3 out in the field, and then if someone's on a detail at Tanger Outlets, they might have 1. And so, and usually, if one goes down, you gotta send it back to the company, you have a spare.
Spare.
So that's why that we had budgeted for 6, but Luke said, would you throw in the 7th?
So-
Spare.
I'm curious, does like the, SROs, but I'm thinking of the guy at the football game, just as a for
Yeah,
instance.
anywhere you could have an issue, like the SRO would have one.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the
Would you
final
have
figure right
one
here.
wherever an officer is carrying a gun?
Yeah, I mean, you have to provide them with a less lethal
So he has an
option.
alternative?
Yeah, so,
Well, we never have more than 7 on duty at a time, I wouldn't think.
unless you have,
Like,
like,
we have to turn in all our old tasers as part of this deal, correct?
for every one they give us, we have to turn in.
So we have to turn in 7. So we're gonna keep 2 working ones and turn in the other ones,
Ones that
right?
don't work, all the junk.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll accept those.
I'm gonna make a
Oh,
motion,
they said it's any condition, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a motion that we give permission to buy the 6 tasers and get the one for free for $9,882.83.
I'll second it for the purposes of discussion.
What was the motion for? To
$882?
That's what it says, 83 cents. Are we doing?
Was that a motion to purchase them?
Yes.
It was. Now, that's contingent on,
It's motion made and seconded, and now we're in discussion. What line are we taking this money from? Wages.
and we have a grant available for that, or no?
No, it's wages.
That's the
Just
grant
wait.
for the other device.
Why was there extra money in the wage line?
We have people out.
It's just,
Nate's out.
it was one officer that's
Yeah.
waiting for a surgery.
Okay, because he was on the... Yeah, my concern was just that, things like this, we should really be budgeting for, and, anything that has to be
Capital
replaced, vests, equipment, and things like that, not just, well, we got extra money into it. And I see that we do have a need, they are broken, but I would hope that we'd know the exact date that we're going to replace these in the future, and,
So they'll
for a couple
be-
years.
The best way to do this.
They're part of the maintenance replacement now, so we won't be in that situation again. It will be a budgeted amount each year, which will be steady, and that
That's
budgeted...
$200 a unit, as I
Right,
recall?
and that will be in the budget.
Paying for these, in the agreement, we also are
Yeah,
paying X
200
amount of dollars per unit per year.
And how much is that? 200?
$200 per unit
Per
times
unit
what,
per year.
7?
Six, because it's the seventh
No,
one
you
we
gotta
get
do
free.
the 7.
But we're getting
You're doing
7.
So the question is, if we're getting the seventh one free and we're
Then what
not
about the
paying the
main-
$200 a month, then there's no replacement on
We're
it.
probably doing the maintenance, right?
You got to do the maintenance on
So if you
6.
do
So it'll be-
$1,400 a year,
You're covered.
you're covering for the next 5 years, and then they give you free ones. So well, not free ones, because we've already paid for
Replacement
them.
ones.
Replacements,
There is no free anything.
right.
But you're being
Become-
locked into a company where other companies may create one where there's
There's no,
improvement.
well, they've been out for how many years now, and nobody's
Yeah, this
come
is
in.
the only-
This is the Taser company.
This is
No,
it.
there's other companies that make devices.
Lesser
not
lesser
for law
devices
enforcement.
than not like...
Yeah,
The
I
civilian.
spent a lot of time looking around for if there were any others, and there were a couple, they were more of a personal protection
You
type.
can get a little buzz thing.
Like a
that
pepper
looks like
spray
remote
type of thing.
control or something,
Yeah.
but it's
But
not the
again, so
same.
we're saying that nobody else, none of these other companies will branch out? So you're saying this company has a monopoly?
So in 5 years, after you do your swap out, if you feel like you want to get somebody different,
You can change.
that's where you change.
Yeah, except you've already paid for them.
Well, then you get those and then you stop doing what you're doing.
Right, you don't get the extra warranty for the going forward,
You don't go forward after
and
that.
then you stop
After
it.
what, 5 years?
Yeah. Well, you got to start somewhere.
There's nothing between here and there, Kevin. Once we get there, maybe there's something, but there's nothing between here and there.
I just don't like a company that pads their deck like that. We could put the $1,400 a year aside, and then buy.
Officer wages is,
Figures we could get 5 of them.
$6,000
I don't
after.
like it.
officer wages is 58% spent.
How far? Well, Tim went
Should
over.
be.
August
You want
31st.
to
Yeah, Tim went over it.
How much should it
All
be?
right, so, what?
How much should it be?
Well, it should be closer to 60 or 66,
Yeah, okay.
Right now, it
Right
should
now.
be 75%.
close to 75, yeah.
Should be close to 75. We're in the last quarter, so
Right.
It should be, so it should be, we're 3/4 of the way through, so right now.
Well, we've had a lot of
October
illness.
1st should be
definitely money in
75%.
that account.
Just so I'm
Illness
clear,
and
we're going to
military
send
leave.
in one for one
Yep.
of the back, and that's all included in that price.
Yep.
And it will end up having us keep 2 of our old ones.
Okay.
Which
And
is so good.
There's nothing else we need, this is all inclusive, no chargers or extra batteries?
So
Chargers, holsters, everything. is
why are
fine.
we keeping
Holsters and-
why are we buying new ones?
Because we can't afford to buy 9.
Why would we throw
We
them away?
have, we
But
have
if we're-
9,
I
but
thought we were having to buy these because the new ones were obsolete.
we have,
The old ones, yeah.
The old,
The old ones are obsolete.
that's
we
true.
have 8 or 9.
And broken.
He was going to check, 8 or 9, 4 work
Right,
intermittently, 3 out of the 4 work.
right.
And the batteries, once they're gone, they can't get they're going to be obsolete in a year.
This was the last month for those
Right.
tasers.
So
So like,
that's where you're
they won't
going.
make parts for them anymore. There's so much technology's changed.
Monopoly.
They,
And we get to try the new one out on Joe. And if we get the new ones, we get to try them on Joe.
December 9th, be there or be square.
But, you know, I have one thing to say about that. Be careful of what you wish for.
Why?
Because you might be changed just the opposite, and I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Hey, look, every day is a new adventure with me. Hallelujah.
It's not,
Okay.
all right, let's call the question. All those in favor?
Yes.
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 Yes?
All opposed? One opposed.
Me.
Gosh, yes, gosh, yes.
I don't like the $200 commitment. I hate it. I hate it.
All right. At this time, I'm going to make a motion to go into non-public per RSA 91A:3, personnel. I believe it's personnel, personnel, and personnel. 3.
Second?
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes. Computer breakdown.
And we're red. I would like to seal the minutes of the non-public non-public session as they pertain to personnel and public safety permanently.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
I have a really quick FYI.
Okay.
I forgot it, really quick. Back in August, Al and I went on the former Quinty property with
Yeah.
DES representatives for the asbestos dump.
Yes.
Today, we finally got a copy of the letter from DES,
Yes.
addressed to 7 points on what they have to do, and they will have to remove all the trees from the riverbank, mow the field, put up the fence, put up new signs. They require them to do much more than we asked them to do.
Can't they remove it and put it somewhere else? Or
The
just-
asbestos?
Yeah.
The asbestos covers many acres.
I understand that.
Well, they could, but that would be extremely expensive.
I understand that.
But no, they,
No, okay.
but I just wanted you to know that we got good news.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
All those in favor?
I'm moving. Me.
It's 2015.
Yes,
See what?
Joe,
I'm going to give this up for a present.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In
I pretty
public
much always-
safety?
yeah.
See, I've got mine